Well, hey folks, Species7 here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Minibrunn Farm. Eggs. Yeah, okay. How about you? You're 45% complete. Alright, so that one is going up. Good stuff. Do hope everybody is doing well today. If you're new to the channel, don't forget in the description, well, I guess you wouldn't forget, you wouldn't know. Down in the description below are links to some pretty cool channels, etc. There's also a link to my Patreon sponsor. And don't forget, if you like the content, there's lots of it coming up. Just perfect and perfect. Oh my, well, I'm just going to go ahead and hang my head in shame. Yeah. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe and the notification bell. Meanwhile, back in Paris, the sheep were spitting out grass like a monkey. Way to go, sheep. Alright, we have work to do. Work to do, work to do. I don't know where anything is. You're not anything. Well, you're something, but you're just not. Alright, I guess while I'm here, because I know a lot of you are squeamish about seeing a dirty pig trough. So we'll just clean this up. I'm sure none of you are, but you know. Okay, piggies, look at that. Happy days, you're all fixed up. Wasn't that a rough one? Okay. Yeah, we'll just take the weight off the hydraulics. There we go. And here we are. Here we are. Our last attempt to make some big bucks. Okay, this obviously needs some squishing. That's okay. We still get a little bit of, oh yeah, look at this. You're almost empty. What the heck is... It's City Farmery. It is. It's gotta be now. The dude found somewhere there's a gap in this freaking fence. I'm telling you. And he's coming in here, and he knows that this is the only vehicle I own that doesn't have any sort of lock on the old fuel system. So it's basically just a big can of diesel with rubber tires. I'm pretty sure the guy's taking all my diesel. You know, run his own farm and stuff. Stuff. Hear me? Stuff. Okay. Let's fill her up again. For something that only leaves the yard to come to the gas, or to come and fill up with fuel. It runs out more than any vehicle I have. And all it does is drive back and forth over the same, 10 meters of ground. And then, like I say, this is the longest trip it ever makes. The maintenance isn't great either. Maybe I should deal with that. You know? That might be why she's apparently hemorrhaging fuel. Maybe that's the maintenance it needs. Maybe the seals are gone on the fuel lines or something. I don't know. Suppose I should deal with it though. There we go, gets rid of that little bit from last time around. Now we know the first one is always the worst one, right? They don't tend to be as hard to squish down after that. So let's get through this, then we're going to go and run a maintenance check on this guy. See just how bad it is. I mean, it's only showing down 25%, but that's a lot, you know? If 25% of the things in my car were broken, oh, never mind. They probably are now that I think about it. Not the mechanical things, but, you know. I've only had one, it's only a 2-door, but I've only had one working door since I got the thing. Yeah. It has its issues, but I like my old car. It's a little Toyota Paseo, 1992 Toyota Paseo. All black except for the bits I painted red. Just because I like to have something that makes it easier for, well, for me to pick it out in the parking lot, I guess. Not that we have huge crowded parking lots here, but, you know, one can never be too careful. Okay, this is starting to look pretty smoothed out to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts. Let's see what it says. 60%. Okay. Apparently nuts wasn't even close. Wow. Really? 60%? What exactly are you whining about? Okay, we're up to 80. That's pretty good. That one didn't do much. I'm going to be down to 50% maintenance here by the time this is done. Alright, maybe I can see why we burn through the fuel. There's a lot of back and forth, man. Going from 0 to full to 0 to full to 0 to full. Yeah, I can see we can burn a fair bit, but still. Let's go get her patched up. Now that we've actually got 100%. Now I've got a whole trailer there, so that ain't gonna last long. It's gonna last until I dump that trailer. But let's go get her fixed up. Now, I have to try and... Don't hit me. I have to try and arrange it on the pad so that it's... We can tell if it's the bucket that's wearing out or if it's the machine itself. So, let's come in here, and let's leave that hanging out, shall we? Now hopefully it'll actually pick up the trackatori. Boom, it does. Yeah, it's definitely got some maintaining issues. See, it's showing it without the shovel. So, let's repair it. $17. Really? $17? What are you repairing it with? Rubber bands and oh, no. Oh, I meant to click that. Thank you. Rubber bands and steel wool or what? Alright. Now, are you reading the bucket now? You are not. Okay. No. Okay. You don't want to play that way, huh? That's fine. And boom. Alright, let's pull you out of the picture. There we go. Ah, yeah, see, that's what I thought. This thing's pretty beat up. So let's fix it. $4. Yeah? Either way, I mean, you know. So there is, as of this going up, there will be only 8 days until FS22 is released. So it's getting there, guys. Man, just a hair over a week away. I'm looking forward to it. I am. I've actually started watching the Giants trailers. Oh. Now, just because I'm a complete dick, one of my little pet peeves is watching something and then noticing that the next thing they want me to watch is someone that's going to explain to me what I've just watched. You know, but every time there's a trailer by Giants, like the one I saw today was, I guess it's the other map. They've got an American map and then a non-American map, as they usually do when they do these things. And yeah, the one I saw was for the non-American. I wish I could remember the name of it, but, you know. If it wasn't for the fact that I use my middle name, I wouldn't remember what it is. So it's nothing against Giants and their work. It's the fact I have no usable memory. Yeah, I filled my drive many years ago. But, so I watched it and I thought, okay, you know, it shows you a bit of a landscape. I think that's pretty much all it was designed to do. You know, it doesn't even actually show a farm, interestingly enough, or I didn't recognize it as such. That's always possible too, you know. Ooh, I came out of there way too quick. Dang. Now I've got half a thing and I'm right near the edge. Oh, man. Well, this isn't going to be the best job I've done. There we are. I'll pretend it didn't happen. Yeah. Okay. Out you get. So, yeah, I watched it, and I mean, it wasn't really anything. They never even showed, the only machines they showed were some trains in the distance. So, yeah, other than that, it was basically a fly-through, you know. And then I noticed that, you know, the next video in line is by Farmer Klein. Nothing against Farmer Klein, decent YouTuber, you know, does a lot of work toward, you know, keeping his viewers informed and stuff of what's going on. But there it is with, you know, already, even though it had been up less than an hour, a couple of thousand views. And it was him explaining the map trailer I had just watched. Like it was, you know, you had just seen some incredibly complex thing, and to glean what was necessary, here's an expert. And I mean, okay, maybe he is an expert at the game, but no one has, as of yet, and thank you, Giants, for not doing the same really foul thing you did when you released 19, but no one has had enough hands-on with it to be considered an expert. You know, they watched the same 4.5-minute video on the new map as I did. You know, and I just think that's a really cheap way to get views, and it is nothing else. You know, it's, had it gone through a breakdown of some new mechanic that was being introduced in Farm Sim 22, okay, you know, maybe people who haven't played 19, 17, 15, 13, 9, you know where I'm going with this? Yeah. Might not be able to figure out the new mechanic, in other words, new Farm Sim players. But, so yeah, you probably have something that might, you know, generally garner some explanation to make it available to everyone. But this was not that. This was not even close to that. Like I said, it was a fly-through of a map. And I mean, okay, there may have been buildings that not everybody caught because they were busy looking at a beautiful scenery or something. But beyond that, what's there? You know? So yeah, kind of disappointed, especially, I mean, I would have expected it out of some of the YouTubers, you know. But yeah, kind of disappointing that was the next one. So, speaking of disappointing, awesome, we're there. I really gotta wonder what the heck is going on with the last Windows patch I got. It seems to have directly affected Steam and anything to do with Steam. Like, it seems to take forever to launch the app now. Oh, God, that's terrible. You know, 2 years ago I would have called Steam a program. Steam hasn't changed. What up? Yeah, okay. But yeah, it takes forever to load. Whoop, 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 whoop. I think that's the same guy that hit me the last time. I just went right out there. Now, and I'm talking, well, okay, to be fair, it's loading from the slowest drive in my system, which is to say an SSD, as opposed to an NVMe. So, it's not really much of an excuse. And the fact that slow drive, fast drive, whatever, it has always been loading from that drive. Now, since the Windows patch, it takes, I would say, easily 5 times as long to load. Now, once it does, everything works flawlessly, works quickly. You know, it hasn't affected the download speed of games and things from Steam. It hasn't affected, you know, access, switching between the store page and the library page, or, you know, going into my wish list, or, you know, viewing different things on Steam. Once it's loaded up, it runs as fast and as well as it ever has. It's just that initial load. Well, the real issue is that extends to everything to do with Steam. In other words, once I've loaded up Steam and I want to, say, launch Farm Sim, Farm Sim takes, it sits there and does nothing. You double-click the icon. You wait and stare at your mouse cursor, and you wait, and then it'll bring the little, you know, whatever you are using as your wait symbol up and spin that a couple of times. Then it'll launch. And once it starts launching it, bang, everything is back to high speed. Now, the game itself is on an NVMe drive. So, yeah, it should run, load, do all of those things about as fast as it possibly can. But until it's actually launched to the, you know, the loading page, it is slowed down phenomenal amounts. And that's every single thing I've launched off of Steam. I got the patch, I guess, 2 days ago. And I'm sure I've launched at least a half a dozen different things, including my recording software. And all of them behave exactly the same way. They sit there as if it's taking Windows extra long to find them. You know, once it finds them, yeehaw, go hard, there you are, instantly, there it is. It's ready to go, play with it. But yeah, there's this whole, let's see, where is it? I know I left it here somewhere. Hey honey, do you know where my game is? You know, it's like all that's going on. So, I don't know. I wonder if they're just maybe trying to convince people to switch to 11, you know. Because, yeah, I have had the go-ahead to do that ever since the go-ahead to do that became available. You know, I've done the PC hardware check, which is a good tool, by the way. If you're wondering if your system will run it, that's what you're looking for. you want to go to Microsoft and load the PC. Oh, it's called PC Health Check, actually, weirdly enough. But yeah, and then it will tell you if you are good to go for the newest operating system. Now, like I said, now that I've upgraded to my new processor and my new motherboard, I am good to go. I did have to do the other little steps, like I had to go in and turn on the secure boot or whatever the heck it is, and I had to go in and put on the trusted platform module as well. But that's, there was a couple of things to click in the BIOS. It's not like it was difficult, and it's not like there isn't a billion YouTube videos out there showing you how to do it. So, yeah. And speaking of YouTube, I guess there's news on that front as well. YouTube has decided, in its infinitely questionable wisdom, to make another change to the platform. And, well, I was watching Linus of Linus Tech Tips, if you're not sure who I'm referring to. A fairly famous Canadian YouTuber, by the way. But I was watching him this morning after reading about this, and then noticing that his latest WAN show, that was the headline for it. And what the change is, if you haven't seen it or watched YouTubers that are complaining about it, and they have something to complain about, they've decided that if you click you dislike a video, that will no longer appear publicly, only privately to the YouTuber. So the amount of likes will appear publicly, but the dislikes will not. And no, this isn't a switch we can turn on and off. This is going to be implemented on the back end. It's going to be implemented in YouTube itself, and you won't have the option. And okay, yeah, it's going to stop people from dislike bombing sites, because you won't know what the numbers are. You won't know if it's working, basically. But, man, that like button isn't just there to, appease people's tempers when they see something they don't like. It's there so that when I go, oh man, how do I reset something on my little 92 Paseo? I know, I'll go on YouTube, and I'm sure somebody's done it before, and there'll be a video on it. Usually there is. But if that video had 500 views, and it got 100 dislikes and 3 likes, I'm probably going to look for a different video. Because odds are, if I now go down and scan through the comments, I'm going to see things like, it didn't work and my car caught on fire. It didn't work and I broke 2 of my fingers trying to do it. It didn't work and it didn't solve the problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good way that you can look at things that may be potentially either dangerous or expensive if they're implemented incorrectly. Alright? And so if a video is telling you how to incorrectly implement that particular thing, it's nice that you can shy away from it without having to actually watch it and then decide for yourself if it's the right or wrong way to do it. Which, odds are, if you're watching the video in the first place, you don't know if it's the right way or wrong way. Hey, Lewis Mulligan. Farming Simulator 19. Indeed. That's the fine gentleman that gifted me a copy of 22. It's the first time I've told anybody, man. That's okay. That's your hidden Steam name. Nobody will know who you really are. But, yeah. I have to agree, it's not a good move. I think for what it's gonna save in scammy things, you know, like people, you know, basically review bombing the person's channel by, you know, going into whatever group they deal with and go, okay, everybody go over to Species 7's thing and hit the dislike button on his latest video because he whined about people hitting the dislike button. Right? And that would stop people from wanting to watch my videos. Great. What it's going to do nothing about is, and there's lots of them, channels that do things like trap you in a scheme if you dare to actually click on anything to do with them, you know, or will somehow lead you down a less than desirable path, you know, to the extent where there's right up to like ransomware programs that have been hidden in these sort of things. So, you know, that's something that people would immediately, I mean, they would flag it and report it to YouTube, and, well, we all know how long and how effective that can be sometimes. You know, by the time they can get around to doing something about it, another 5,000 people now have ransomware, or whatever the thing is, spreading like a malicious, you know, disease. Another 5,000 people now have it, all right? You know, whereas if they'd have gone on there, and like I said, there was, you know, just an overwhelming amount of dislikes, they would probably look down in the comment and go, well, why is this program no good that this person's recommend? Oh, I see. You know, and that would be the end of it. You know, these scammers would get next to no one. Now, I mean, you can still leave that comment saying that, hey, you know, don't watch this video, because if you actually do follow one of the links, you know, you'll no longer own the information on your PC. But not as many people are going to read that comment because they see it got 30 likes. You know, it had 8,000 views, so 30 likes isn't great, but it's certainly nothing to raise a red flag. You know, it was just, maybe it's boring. You know, it might be really, really good information, just presented in a boring manner. You know, people might not like the color or length of the person's hair that did the broadcast. You know what I mean? Like, it can be anything. In this case, it's ransomware, right? Or some other horrible infectious disease of the computer. So, yeah, not a good look there on YouTube, you know. And I mean, I can understand that they haven't given creators the power to turn such a thing on and off, because the first people that are gonna do that and use that power are the scammers, right? You know, I can get another 5,000 people infected before YouTube takes my stuff down, because it's gonna take the 6 days of manual getting from someone reporting it to it being manually inspected by YouTube, and that's my time I can really shine, get a lot of people trapped into this. Yeah, I don't know. Not, like I say, not a good look, YouTube. You really need to rethink this one. Now, of course, it's not based on nothing. YouTube is too big for their own good. Well, I suppose there's a lot of ways to end that. But YouTube is too big to just blindly do things like that. You know, they did actually roll this out in different areas and test it. And the thing is, you know, are the parameters they're looking to fill the same ones you and I are? You know, I mean, did taking that out make the entire show run 3 seconds faster? You know, or 3 milliseconds faster, or whatever the heck Google measures things in? You know what I mean? And does that outweigh, in their opinion, the fact that, you know, it's going to allow some of these other things to become more rampant, some of these scammy, horrible things that we have to put up with on the internet? You know, because, well, they are. a business in the end, and are likely to do things based more on business decisions than logic, reality, or even morality for that matter. You know. I mean, they may seem to hold a high moral ground these days, but it wasn't that long ago. You know, and it was only because of the apocalypse that they have any moral ground at all. You know, there was a time not that long ago you could post pretty much whatever the heck you wanted on YouTube. You know, and unless someone made an actual point, and by someone I mean an advertiser with a little bit of clout, made an actual point of calling a particular video out as unacceptable or rude or, you know, whatever it might be. And there's been some horrible, horrible things, you know, from the predatory behavior of some YouTubers who have had a young audience and decided, hey, I wouldn't mind having a closer look and know what I mean, you ignorant. But, you know, to things like, well, the infamous, you know, Paul brother incident, let's just call it that, so that we don't have to refresh this in people's conscience. But yeah, so it's not like they've always had a high moral ground. It's, you know, they've been forced as a business to raise their standards. So yeah, they're getting rid of the dislike from public scrutiny. Yeah, that's not to make things better in the ways that we might hope. You know, it's something else, and it's, yeah, like I say, I don't think it's going to work out well for either the creators or the viewers in the long run. But, well, I've had quite a tirade about a number of things today, haven't I? From Windows updates to whining about people on the internet. Because, I mean, that's not something that's done very often, right? And on that note, I think I should probably wrap this up. We don't have, needless to say, well, I mean, unless FS22 is an absolute steaming pile, and I really don't believe it will be. You know, do I believe it'll have weird bugs, glitches, machines that don't quite do what they should do, and perhaps some weird physics issues when it's launched? Oh, 100%. That's one of the things I look forward to on launch date, is maybe being lucky enough to be one of those people who goes, holy cow, look at this. But, yeah. So, yeah. Unless it turns out to be a completely unplayable, which, like I said, odds are, we probably don't have a lot of episodes on this map left. So, I do hope you've enjoyed the ones we have had. We are at, well over the 100 episode mark. So, there you go. Thanks very much for all your support, folks. Do take care of each other. And ciao.